Today, I'm going to be sharing 10 tips that I've learned to getting your finances together. Tips to get it all the way together, to make sure that you are saving, you're not in debt, you're growing what you have, and you are getting to that point of financial freedom. Amen. I know that financial freedom means different things to different people. Some people just want to be able to get out of the rat race, stop working for the man. Some people want to be able to stop working so that they can do their own thing. And some people just want to stop working so that they can, you know, live it up, do whatever they want. But in order to do that, you already know you need some moolah, like standard. You already know that. So it's a bit of a grind to get there, right? You need to work towards getting there. You need to figure out how to get good habits in place so that you can live your best life. So I'm going to share 10 tips, okay? Tip number one, you have to track your expenses. You need to keep your eyes on where your money is going. Because some people say that money is like a spirit. If you don't tell it where to go, it's just gonna go wherever it wants to go. So you really do have to have an idea of where your money is going. How are you going to save if you don't even know where your money is going? Tracking your expenses these days, I feel like it's a bit easier because there are tools you can use. Some examples of tools I'm aware of is Mint, Personal Capital, it's now known as Empower. But also you can just open a good old Excel spreadsheet, and do it on a monthly basis or some cadence that works for you. And basically you're dividing things up into different categories. Don't make the categories so much so that you don't get overwhelmed. But at the end of the month, you look back and you're like, oh wow, so I spend this much on groceries. Oh wow, so I spend this much at the movies. Do I want to be spending this much at the movies? Just track your expenses so you know where your money is going. Okay, that's tip number one. Tip number two, still on expenses, audit your expenses. After you've been able to track your expenses and you now know, okay, this is where your money is going and all whatnot, then you can audit your expenses and say, okay, I'm spending this much going to the movies every month. Does going to the movies really bring me joy? Is it something that is adding to the quality of my life? If it's not, you might want to consider taking it out. Now, movies is just a hypothetical example. Like, the point is, look at the different categories. Look at you yourself as a person. What brings you joy? What makes you happy? Now, what is a crutch? Okay, we're not talking about every time you go binge eating because you're not in a good mood and you just spend up a lot of money doing whatever you spend a lot of money on when you're not in a good mood. Not those kind of things that make you feel good, but things that truly bring you joy, like hobbies that you enjoy. For example, if you love gardening, it brings you so much joy and you spend a certain amount of money on it, that may be worth it. It differs for every person, but the point is, once you've been able to track your expenses, look at that and be like, oh, audit each category and figure out which category is really important to you. And even within those categories that are important to you, you might still want to cut down. And what, of course, will guide your cutting down is how much is coming in, okay? Because you don't want to be spending 150% of your income doing something you like, because you ain't got it like that, okay? All right. Okay, so that's number two. Audit your expenses. Understand where your money is going and if you want it to be going there. Okay. And this will also help you understand number one and number two together. Will also help you understand like your recurring bills. If something changes because you're tracking your expenses, you'll be able to know, because sometimes these utility companies or some bills or whatever, some subscriptions, they up the price and they may not even tell you. It's in an email you didn't look at, but because you're not tracking your expenses, you don't know. So that's why you need to track your expenses so that you can know when things change, and when they change, you know whether you still want to stick with the change, if it's worth it to you. Okay, so that's number two. Number three. Number three is about credit cards. You already knew it. We're gonna get to credit cards. There's no escaping it. Credit is important when you live in a society that uses credit, because building your credit helps you get credit facilities, loans, which can be important, right? But it's important to be very smart with building and using your credit, especially when it comes to credit card bills. Like, I'm a bit passionate about this one, I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, number three, pay your credit card bills when due, if possible. Okay, if you already have a backlog of consumer debt, like credit card debt, it may not be possible to pay your credit card when due. But we're assuming like you've worked through things, you've been able to clear your credit card debt, and you're starting from ground zero. You're actually spending on things that are important to you and things that you can afford. Once you reach that state, please, please try as much as possible to pay your credit card bills. This is so important because why? The interest that credit card companies hit you with, there are not many there's not a lot of things that pay you that much in interest. They hit you with what, like 22% interest? How many things can you do right now, tell me, that will pay you 22% interest? If you put your money in the bank, aren't they paying like 0.1% or less? And yet you are willing to pay 22% on a credit card bill. No, 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 no. If possible, please try to get to a point that you can pay your credit card bill monthly. You've settled the backlog of debts that you might already have. You're now spending things within what you can afford. Pay that bill every month. Because what happens is the interest rate is what, 22%, 23%. You're paying the minimum every month, but you're not seeing any change. You pay the minimum this month, next month is the same amount. It's even more because you've added more debt onto it, right? So that's why it's really good to get control of your credit card. It's, I mean, you guys already know. Credit card debt can really be a sinking for a lot of people. So if you can get to a point that you're able to pay your credit card bills every month, that is a huge win, and you deserve all the props for that. Okay, so number four, if you're using credit cards, use a credit card that benefits you. There are so many different options for credit cards that come with like travel rewards, cashback rewards. Yeah, they come with so many benefits, right? And not all of them have the annual fee if you're trying to avoid that. Some of them don't have, some of them do have. But there are free options, okay? Free options in that they do not have the annual fee, but they still have some benefits like cashback. I feel like that's pretty universal. For your credit cards, pick a credit card that will benefit you. You're spending this money, you might as well get some benefit for it. I personally know that there are credit cards that would give you, a lot of credit card companies will give you credit cards that give you at least cashback without any sort of annual fee, like 1, 2, 3% cashback. I mean, why not? Okay, get that card as opposed to a credit card that doesn't give you anything. There's also typically a travel rewards credit card that could give you like points. But something that's also really good about the travel rewards card is when you go to a foreign country or you're buying something from another country, it waives the foreign transaction fee, you know. And I look, sometimes I just buy stuff and I'm like, where did this fee come from? I think it's like a 3% fee or something, depending. But if you have a travel rewards card, and there are travel rewards cards that have no annual maintenance fee also, you don't have to pay that foreign transaction fee when you buy something that's international or you travel. And that's great because you're saving, what, let's say it's 2%, I'm not sure, but you're saving like 3%. So my point is, you're getting this credit card because you want to build your credit. So let's be smart with it, right? Pay the bills when due, and then make sure that there's some benefits coming with the credit card. Obviously, you don't want to pay a fee just because you want some benefit. You want to get benefit that is of value to you and doesn't cost much, if anything. I know people are really huge on Chase credit cards, especially with respect to the travel rewards and all of that, but I personally haven't tried that. Okay. The next point is still on credit cards. If you're someone that, spending is an issue, you can't really seem to rein in on your spending, you can't really seem to control it, you know, it might be worth calling your credit card company and telling them to put a limit on your credit card. That is possible. I've heard that that's possible. You can actually call them and say, I want a monthly limit, not more than $100 a month, or whatever, and they can do that for you. Another thing is, maybe you don't want to even have a credit card. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you just want a debit card. You just want to spend money that you know that you have. You want that debit card tied to an account that you just put a specific amount in a month. The idea is that you are controlling your expenses by controlling your access to your money and making sure that you only have access to a specified amount in a specified period of time, so that you're not spending more than you want to spend. Okay, I know people that do that. If you need to do that, please just accept that you need to do that and do that. That's way better than stacking on these credit card bills. Okay.